This Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif chooses to fan the flames instead of dousing them. In a brazen and provocative remark, Shehbaz has called Kashmir the jugular vein of Pakistan, echoing the same decades-old rhetoric that has been used to justify terror and bloodshed. At a time when Pakistan should be apologizing for sheltering and breeding terrorists, Shehbaz Sharif choosing to beat the war drums. My colleague Pradeep Datta is now joining us live for more on this big story. Pradeep, there are two aspects that we would like to focus on for our viewers. One, of course, is this U-turn that has come from the Lashkar-e-Toiba's proxy, the TRF. That has now, in a U-turn, tried to suggest that it had got nothing to do with Pahalgam Terror Attack. Why is that? And second, this another provocative statement coming in from Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, and also simultaneously in the same breath trying to suggest that, we are okay for a neutral, transparent probe.
See, if we talk about Shehbaz Sharif's statement, it is like darte hain, darate hain. Because coercive diplomacy, as well as the Operation Wipeout that has been launched by Indian security forces, has sent shivers down spine of both Pakistan and Pak proxies. That's why you must have seen the U-turn coming from TRF, because initially the TRF was first one to claim responsible for the attack. Now, just after 4 days, when we have seen that how Prime Minister's assertion of Mitti Mein Mila De is being translated into action, and 5 of the houses have been demolished belonging to these Lashkar commanders in South Kashmir. So they are now saying that we have nothing to do with this terror attack. We haven't committed this crime. So this seems that they are pleading in front of Indian authorities that they have nothing to do with this terror organization and nothing to do with this terror attack or the crime that has been committed on Tuesday in which 28 tourists lost their lives. So far as Pakistan's Shehbaz Sharif statement is concerned, see, there are two parts. One has to understand, one, he's trying to play a victim card. He's saying that 240 million people of Pakistan will be suffering if the water tap is closed by India, because already they have suspended Indus Water Treaty. Then he is trying to say that we have to safeguard this treaty for the people of the country. Then he's trying to take a moral stand also, and then he's a provocative statement. And the third statement is really very important. You rightly said that's the same old rhetoric that Kashmir is a jugular vein. That we are, but what actually he's trying to say, Pakistan again is in a denial mode. When he says that we want some kind of a neutral probe, they are trying to say that India is unnecessarily resorting to blame game. Pakistan has nothing to do with this terror attack, and that's why they want that there should be a neutral probe in this regard. And second, he is trying to say that India will continue to support Kashmir. That is what they had been saying for the last several decades, that they are not pushing terrorists into this side of the border. They are only providing moral support to freedom fighters who are operating on Kashmiri soil. So whatever is happening, it is because of the freedom fighters. A similar kind of a statement that came from the Deputy Prime Minister, though he was totally direct in that when he called them, they are the freedom, it is a role of the freedom fighter, and India is totally trying to put blame on Pakistan because they want to simply just hide their mistakes. That's what the India is doing. But what is more important is that the coercive diplomacy, as well as the Operation Wipeout that has been launched by Indian forces, has sent shivers down their spine. And now Pakistan has realized that India is not going to back out. India has already made up its mind that they will go for any kind of a kinetic action. They've already taken a diplomatic stand, because for the first time they had taken historic decision of suspending Indus Water Treaty, because Pakistan's economy as well as Pakistan's livelihood totally is dependent on the water of these 3 western rivers, Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. Because all these years the water had been going there. Even the Kashmir had been suffering on several occasions. Even the Kashmir leaders like Umar Abdullah had also raised this issue that because of Indus Water Treaty they were not getting their due benefits. So they had been suffering. They wanted that at least there should be a kind of an assessment. But what is more important, when you ask for the neutral probe, one must be reminded that during Pathankot air-base attack, India had allowed the joint probe. What really happened? After a few days, Pakistan said that Pakistan was not at all involved. So they were completely in a denial mode. So why to go for a neutral probe when you are totally in a denial mode? You'll keep on denying things.
Absolutely, and that has been the first reaction from Pakistan's side as well after this particular terror attack took place. Pradeep, request you to stay on with us, because there is more as far as this particular story is concerned. And Pakistani leaders, viewers, have also started issuing hollow threats, and they have started engaging in theatrics. We heard the soundbite, the reaction coming in from Pakistani Prime Minister, but there are other leaders as well from Pakistan who are giving out these kind of statements, trying to threaten India. And India's decision to put Indus Water Treaty on hold is definitely making Pakistani leaders lose the plot. Watch how PPP chairman Bilawal Bhutto issued a blank dhamki that blood of Indians will flow if Indus water is stopped. Listen in.
भारत को कहना चाहूंगा कि सिंधु हमारा है और सिंधु हमारा रहेगा। या इस दरिया से हमारा पानी बहेगा या उनका खून बहेगा।
Joining us on the broadcast right now is Major General SP Sinha, defense expert. Sir, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now. What is your assessment of the statement that has come from Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif? On one hand, he's saying that, ready for a neutral, transparent probe. On the other hand, repeating the same narrative of jugular vein.
There's no question of having a neutral probe. We know that when our Air Force airport was attacked, what happened to that inquiry when the Pakistan team visited? There's no question. We are throwing out every Pakistani from our land. How can we allow any Pakistani to come to our land and you try to obtain justice from a murder? Will you ever get justice? These murders have to be taught a lesson. We should not fall into this trap. They will try to confuse the issue. They will totally mess it up. They are very clever people. They are ruthless. So therefore, we should not walk into the trap. The inquiry has to be done by our intelligence agencies, and that's it. And whatever actions, phase 1, 5 decisions have already been taken. Phase 2 will follow. In phase 1, only you see the exasperation of Pakistan, this Bhutto minister. He's saying blood will flow if the water is stopped. So these people, actually, these five decisions have really hit Pakistan very hard. They never thought Modi ji would take such a strong decision. And now it will be a slow and timely death of Pakistan. Just wait and watch. We have nothing to do with Pakistan. We will talk to Pakistan in the language they understand. Yes, Pakistan understands. There's no question of allowing them into our land. No way. That is my belief.
And sir, earlier it was Pakistani MP issuing a nuke warning. We heard what Sherry Rahman had to say. And on the other hand, the statement coming in from Bilawal Bhutto. Do you think that perhaps this is a response to, India's diplomatic strike and clearly something that has hit Pakistan and something that Pakistan didn't really expect? Okay, I think we've lost that line. We'll try and reconnect with him in just a bit. Meanwhile, we have Lieutenant General Asit Mistry also with us on the broadcast. He's a defense expert. Sir, good afternoon. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. How will you like to respond to the statement that has now come in from Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif? And before that, we have seen a nuke warning, in fact, coming in from a Pakistani MP, a statement from Bilawal Bhutto trying to suggest either the river will flow or blood of Indians will.
Well, these are all absolutely irresponsible statements and diversionary tactics. Even after the Pahalgam terrorist attack, they had promised a joint probe and so on and so forth. Even after Mumbai, they had promised that they will take suitable action, they will prosecute people, but nothing really has come out of it. This is absolutely diversionary tactics and, only to divert the attention from the real issue at stake.
Right. And do you also think, sir, that this is perhaps a sign of desperation as well? Because this is the first time India has taken an action as far as the Indus Water Treaty is concerned. So do you think perhaps that's something that has hit Pakistan quite hard, and the warning that has gone from India, mitti mein mila denge, and this is the desperation that is speaking, that now we are seeing hollow threats coming in from them?
Most certainly. The action regarding Indus Water Treaty is absolutely unprecedented, and it has totally shaken Pakistan. It is a declaration of a clear strategic intent by the country, and that messaging has gone to the right destination, and therefore all these kind of irresponsible statements being issued by various Pakistani leaders.
All right, Lieutenant General Asif Mistry, appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. This is the sentiment, viewers, that we are seeing on the ground among the strategic affairs experts as well. And viewers, here's another proof of Pakistan's DNA. Watch your screens very, very carefully. These visuals are from a protest in London outside Pakistan High Commission. In the visuals, Colonel Taimur Rahat, Pakistan Army officials and other advisor in the High Commission can be seen drawing his hand across his throat while staring at protesters who had gathered to condemn the Pahalgam terror attack. Just look at these visuals very, very carefully. And he also, in a way, tried to send a veiled threat by this particular gesture to the people who were protesting in front of the Pakistan High Commission against the Pahalgam terror attack. Another Pakistan's legislature, Shari Rahman, on the floor of the Pak Senate, made a desperate nuclear threat to India.